The guy ended up like with millions and millions of friends, right? Because he just added himself to
Yeah, it's
all of
like,
the
hey,
profiles.
I'm your buddy.
Indeed.
Dale. Speaking of communities, have you heard about this? Gen Z, man. I swear, like, they're all into the retro stuff. So much so, they're bringing back MySpace. They're just calling it No Space.
Yes, I think that maybe that's the. It's funny because it might be. I mean, but it's not nostalgia because we were not born there. But I can see it like in the shows like Stranger Things, right? 80s,
Hmm.
the music. I even see like sometimes my daughters, they're like, baby, that's from the 90s. The way that they're dressing, right?
Well, you know what? Maybe it's like this thing where, it was like they reference it like, oh man, that was back in the good times, in the good old days, in the 80s and 90s. Kind of like in the way like a lot of Americans see back like in the 50s, like, it was kind of this fun era. Everyone's like dancing, listening to rock and roll, drinking their milkshakes. It kind of has this feel about it, right? The certain vibe. And maybe that's how the Gen Z is seeing like 80s and 90s also. And
Probably,
that's
I think
that's the
so.
same kind of feel.
Yeah. And now, okay, tell me more about No Space. I haven't seen it.
Okay, so no space. I mean, just from what I can tell, by the way, it's not really generally available. There's a huge waiting queue. It's like 380,000 people
Oh
waiting
wow.
in line to try and get this. But for those of y'all that aren't familiar with MySpace, I mean, it was from what? It was from the 2000s, early
Yeah.
2000s. Um, and basically, it's like you create your own profile. So you say, hey, my name's Eric Ramirez. I'm into crypto. I'm into Bitcoin. I'm into AI. And you kind of share this information. You're like, these are the bands I'd like to listen to. Hey, I just watched this Netflix show. It was really cool. I encourage y'all. And I think it's supposed to try and encourage a little bit more social interaction that's more like with your friends and things like that. And it has a whole wall where you can write on people's wall and things like that. So that's kind of what MySpace was. There's aspects of it that are very similar to Facebook because Facebook took some of this stuff from MySpace too, right? So MySpace was kind of pre-Facebook time.
Do you remember the guy? Because MySpace, you could see obviously all your friends,
Mm-hmm.
but there was always one person, which was Tom, I believe, right? Tom was the always your friend. Like he was appended or added to every
Okay,
single profile.
everybody. It was like your initial first friend.
Your first friend was Tom, so and he was one of the founders, I believe, of MySpace.
Yeah.
So the guy ended up like with millions and millions of friends, right? Because he just added himself to
Yeah, it's
all of
like,
the
hey,
profiles.
I'm your buddy.
Yes. So we'll see if these guys do something similar. It will be epic if they put like Tom,
Yeah, he's back. Hey, Tom's here again. Tom's back.
Tom is back.
Man, one of the things that I remember a lot about MySpace was like that was early days, so it was kind of easy to like hack it. Like you can go in and like hack it and change people's information and stuff like that. You can send messages from people. Like it was really interesting. Like back then, there was, or at least
Yeah,
early on, it didn't
you
have
can even
too much
inject code,
safeguards.
so in that way we'll load some other stuff. So yes, it was very easy to hijack it.
Yeah, it was kind of fun back in the day. Of course, I don't, you know what? It would be really fun if they did like an Easter egg or something like that, where people can also recreate, because that's what made it. I thought that was fun, is trying to get into people's accounts, and I know people you knew. It's not like random, like you're doing malicious stuff, but kind of funny. That'd be kind of funny if they could rebuild some of that in there.
So
But
so who
nowadays,
is doing
everything has a
this?
header.
Or yeah, how did you find out this one?
Oh, I just saw it on my TikTok stream. So I don't know. I got to get on the wait list so I can see if I get access to it. But I really like this concept of kind of better social interaction that we have right now, because maybe people are getting tired of just this straight up, just like this one too many approach of like the Twitter and things like that, or X. It's maybe a little bit more geared towards social interactions. It's still very similar to Facebook, so I'm not sure how they're going to like differentiate it, right?
Yeah, or even Snapchat, right? That they would try to be kind of different, and they had the
Mhm.
concept of disappearing messages, and that way your parents are not there, because that's what happens when
Mhm.
your parents are in the social media. Then it's not cool. Then you move to the
Yeah.
next, like
And maybe
then you are
that's
in
just the
TikTok.
key. maybe that's the key. This is just for the younger folks. Everyone already has connected with their grandma and their tios and tias on Facebook, so they're like, okay, well, we need something new just for us, right? And maybe that's why it's been created like this.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. Maybe
probably
their
the same thing.
moms
It's
and their
just a
aunts
new
are already
thing.
dancing in TikTok already. So
Oh yeah. Well, I think they're supposed to actually be launching here in this summer, so people should be able to start getting in there fairly soon. But I'm very curious to see how it's going to go up. I think we've talked about it. We've got some ideas for a social application as well. Maybe it's something that we'll share with y'all. So once we get something going, but I think that's where things are going. People are looking for more authentic, realistic connections, and that's maybe the direction they're trying to go into.
yeah,
All right. Well, you know what? Just a reminder, like, subscribe, comment. We love to hear from you. If you haven't watched our viral Bitcoin all-time high meme remix, go check it out on our channel. I think we're nearing 9,000 on one of them and maybe 1,500 on the other. Just a thought to think about. How have you felt today? You need to keep trying, keep going. Without failure, you're not going to grow. So I think that's a wrap. Dale.
bye.